What if I told you that for nearly 6 years, millions of Nigerians genuinely believed their president was dead? That the man running Africa's most populous country was actually a Sudanese impostor named Jubril?
My people, they say wonder shall never end. In this life, the best thing human being need to do is truth, to be truthful, no matter whatever it costs. And Nigerian is like a country of lies. Every day people lie. Every day the government, mostly from the government, just like they are chasing the people of Yahoo Yahoo. But the government, they are the men Yahoo Yahoo we have in the world. They are the men Yahoo Yahoo we have. Because when the government is not truthful to the people, when the government is full of lies, every day you will hear something that you should not supposed to hear. Sometimes when it comes up, they will cover it up and they will bring out something that is not the truth and show you. When people talk, the next thing they will go and kidnap those person that talk, just like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who continues saying it as it is, but because of the government, it is not okay to their ear. The next thing they need to do is to go to Kenya and kidnap him back to Nigeria. Well, I would like you to listen to this video. This woman, she explained everything concerning what really happened in Buhari regime and the difference between Jubril and Buhari, how it looks like, and the difference and the atrocity, the things that happened during his regime, so that let people should not deceive you anymore, so that person will not come up and tell you this is not it and this is not that. Although Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have already explained a lot concerning the Nigerian government and what will happen after 2 years, and after the 2 years it has happened and something is still happening. I would say that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the highest prophet we have in this our time. But for some people, they may be thinking that the man is not serious. The man is full of, he's an agitator. He's this. He's against the government. He's not against the government. It's because of the government they are not doing the right thing. Anybody that is not doing the right thing, nobody will like him. That is the main truth about it. That is the main truth about it. As you are going to watch the video, try to like, subscribe, and share it to go around the world. And I would like to hear your comments, so hear your view.
What if I told you that for nearly 6 years, millions of Nigerians genuinely believed their president was dead? That the man running Africa's most populous country was actually a Sudanese impostor named Jubril? And that this wild conspiracy theory became so widespread that the president of Nigeria had to publicly deny being a clone on live television? Well, with the confirmed death of former President Muhammadu Buhari at age 82, we are finally closing the book on one of the most extraordinary political conspiracies in modern African history. But the story of how a death rumor nearly destroyed a presidency reveals something much deeper about trust, transparency, and the power of social media in modern. Let's start from the beginning. The year was 2017 and President Muhammadu Buhari had just returned from a mysterious 5-month medical trip to London. Now, here is where things get interesting. The man who left Nigeria looked frail, gaunt, and seriously ill. The man who returned, he appeared healthier, more energetic, and somehow different. Enter Nnamdi Kanu, the controversial leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, broadcasting from his pirate radio station, Radio Biafra. Kanu looked at this transformation and made a shocking claim that would echo across Nigeria for years. President Buhari had died in London and been secretly replaced by a Sudanese lookalike named Jubril of Sudan. But wait, it gets stranger. According to Kanu's theory, this wasn't just any random impostor. He claimed that Jubril was a former rebel who had fled to Cuba, then was recruited by powerful Nigerian elites to maintain political stability. The conspiracy suggested that Buhari had actually died and been buried in Saudi Arabia, but his inner circle covered it up to prevent chaos. Now, you might wonder, how did such an outrageous theory gain traction? Several factors combined to create the perfect storm. First, Buhari's prolonged absence from Nigeria fueled wild speculation. For months, Nigerians had no clear information about their president's condition. His handlers were secretive, giving vague updates that only made people more suspicious. Second, when Buhari returned, it did look remarkably different. Photos comparing his appearance before and after the trip showed a man who seemed to have gained weight, moved differently, and even spoke with subtle changes in his voice. For a population already skeptical of their government, these changes were all the evidence they needed. But here is what really made this conspiracy explosive: ethnic tensions. Nigeria is deeply divided along ethnic and religious lines. Buhari, a northern Fulani Muslim, was already viewed with suspicion by many southern Christians. The idea that he might be an impostor from Sudan played into existing prejudice and fears about northern dominance. This is where the story gets really fascinating. The Jubril theory did not spread through traditional media. It exploded across social media platforms. WhatsApp groups, Facebook posts, and Twitter threads dissected every public appearance, looking for proof that this was an impostor. People became amateur forensic analysts, comparing hair shapes, walking patterns, and speech patterns to identify individuals. Videos went viral showing supposed differences in Buhari's physical features. Memes flooded the internet with side-by-side comparisons. The hashtag Jubril of Sudan trended regularly on Nigerian Twitter. What is remarkable is how sophisticated this conspiracy became. Believers created elaborate backstories, claimed to have inside sources, and even suggested that foreign governments were complicit in the deception. They pointed to Buhari's continued medical trips abroad as evidence that the real president was dead. Now, here is where things get really strange. For months, the Nigerian government simply ignored the conspiracy. They seemed to hope it would fade away on its own, but it did not. It grew stronger. The silence was interpreted as confirmation by believers. Finally, in December 2018, President Buhari was forced to address the conspiracy differently. During a town hall meeting, he looked straight into the camera and said, "It is the real me, I assure you." He even joked about it, saying he was too busy to organize a clone. But here is the problem with conspiracy theories: facts don't necessarily kill them. Many Nigerians responded with, "Well, that is exactly what an impostor would say." The denier only seemed to fuel more speculation. What this conspiracy really revealed was a massive crisis of trust between the Nigerian government and its people. When citizens are so disconnected from their leaders that they can believe such an outrageous theory, it points to fundamental problems with governance and transparency. The Jubril conspiracy also highlighted how health secrecy around African leaders creates dangerous information vacuums. When people don't have reliable information, they create their own explanations, often more dramatic than reality. Here's an angle most people missed. This conspiracy had international implications. Foreign diplomats privately expressed concern about who they were actually dealing with. If millions of Nigerians believed their president was an impostor, how could international partners have confidence in bilateral agreements? The theory also exposed Nigeria's colonial hangover. The fact that Buhari sought medical treatment in London, the former colonial power rather than in Nigeria, reinforced perceptions of government hypocrisy and domestic institutional failure. Even after Buhari's presidency ended, the Jubril conspiracy never fully died. Supporters continued to insist that Nigeria had been ruled by an impostor. They claimed his policies, his mannerisms, and even his family interactions were all part of an elaborate charade. Today, the confirmation of Buhari's actual death, this conspiracy finally reaches its conclusion, but its legacy lives on. It's changed how Nigerians view their government, how they consume political information, and how they express dissent in the digital age. The Jubril conspiracy also became a template for similar theories across Africa. When other leaders disappeared from public view, citizens began asking similar questions about their authenticity. The death of former President Muhammadu Buhari marks the end of one of the most unusual chapters in Nigerian political history. The man who was accused of being a Sudanese impostor for 6 years has finally been laid to rest, taking with him one of the most persistent conspiracy theories in modern African politics. But the real lesson here isn't about the conspiracy itself. It is about what happens when governments fail to communicate transparently with their people. When citizens cannot trust their leaders to tell them basic truths about their health and whereabouts, they will create their own versions of reality. The Jubril conspiracy was ultimately about much more than a death rumor. It was about ethnic division, colonial legacy, democratic accountability, and the power of social media to reshape political discourse. What do you think? Did the Jubril conspiracy reflect legitimate concerns about government transparency, or was it simply ethnic prejudice wrapped in wild speculation? How do you think government should handle health crises around their leaders? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and do not forget to like and subscribe to RNN TV for more deep dives into the stories that shape our world. We'll continue bringing you the analysis you will not find anywhere else.
That is the country we find ourselves into. Thank you as you have watched to the extent. So I would like you to like, subscribe and share for more of our video coming up. Thank you.